Need an afternoon pick-me-up?
Oh, lovely.
Christine's here with just the tonic you need. Afternoons on ABC Radio Perth and WA and on the ABC Listen app.
Have you broken your mobile phone recently? How expensive was it to repair? 0437 922 720. I'm curious. Tell me what model your phone is, what the injury was, and how much it cost to repair. 1300 222 720. Apple has hiked its repair charges for iPhone 12 by more than 40% compared with iPhone 11. It's charging more than $359 to fix an iPhone 12 screen outside of warranty and $109 to replace the battery. Now, some third-party repairers can offer cheaper fixes, but companies like Apple and Samsung are trying to prevent you from using them. Dr. Ritesh Chugh is from the Central Queensland University. He wrote a piece in The Conversation about our right to repair. Hello, Ritesh.
Hello, Christine. Good afternoon to your listeners as well.
Thank you so much for coming on. Now tell me, why are companies trying to block third-party repairs?
So, Christine, if Apple and other tech companies have their way, I think the prices of repairs are only going to go up. The reason that those companies are giving is for us not being able to use third-party services is they say that the third-party repairers perform low-quality work. They're also saying that devices could be hacked. That is, the security of our devices could be compromised if we were to use third-party repairers.
Is there any truth to that? Is there any truth?
That is a good question. Well, personally, I don't think there is a lot of truth. I mean, earlier this year, or actually it was late last year, that Apple introduced a battery warning. So if you use a third-party service to replace your battery, now obviously that's not authenticated from Apple, it sends you out a warning signal that you're using a third-party battery.
Okay.
Now, when you think, when you look at the larger picture, I think what the tech companies are trying to do is they're trying to protect their own interests here rather than looking after the customers. I mean, I'll give you a very simple example, Christine.
Please, yeah.
When you drop your new phone, and I said new phone, your phone cracks and you take it to Apple or Samsung,
yeah,
they'll tell you it's not covered under warranty because, it was your mistake. Now, when you take it to a third party, obviously, Apple and Samsung are going to charge you a lot of money, as you've said, over $359.
Yeah.
When you take it to a third party repairer, your warranty gets voided. Now, that's a problem.
Yes, especially for people who don't have a lot of money. And I heard that for the iPhone 12, if the camera breaks, you go to your local repairer at a shopping centre to get it fixed, the camera might be inoperable. So they've already put some measures in place to make sure that it can only be repaired in-house. Is that correct, Ritesh?
Yes, that is absolutely correct. In fact, there are software locks that are embedded in these phones.
Wow.
And the other problem that we are facing nowadays is the third-party repairers also don't have access to diagnostic software. And Christine, what's interesting, I mean, you started talking about phones.
Yeah.
But this is a bigger problem.
Why?
The bigger problem is because this also extends to all other appliances.
Okay.
Agricultural machinery, for example. Think about a farmer who is disconnected from the city, lives in a remote area, who previously perhaps used to fix their own tractor.
Yeah.
Because, they knew how to do it. Now what is happening is because the manufacturing or the way manufacturing is done, there are complicated non-standard parts that are being used.
Oh.
And the farmer will not have access to diagnostic software.
Right.
So a farmer is going to be burdened with the high cost of repairs.
Right, okay, 20 minutes past 3. If you've just tuned in, my guest is Dr. Ritesh Chugh from Central Queensland University. He wrote a piece in The Conversation about our right to repair and the fact that some companies are limiting this so that you have to go back to them and them only, and then they can set the price. So at the moment in Australia, are they allowed to do this, Ritesh?
There is a fight for a right to repair that is happening as we speak. In fact, I'm pleased that the Australian Productivity Commission has commissioned an inquiry, the results or the draft report of which will be tabled in June.
Okay.
But however, there have been many submissions that have been made to the inquiry where people and organizations have called for the right to be repaired, to be legislated. That is because, Christine, you look around us, you look at your washing machine. You know, if there's a problem with your washing machine, the call-out costs are quite high. Sometimes the parts are not available.
Yeah.
So what happens is we end up dumping the washing machine and it goes to landfill.
Well, that's the other thing. So there's an impact on users, and we've talked about the cost, but then obviously there's an impact on the environment. If we can't get these phones fixed cheaply, then, they're obviously discarded, and then electronic waste, I assume, would only go up. Is that fair to say?
Absolutely, that is fair to say. In fact, there's research that has said these devices obviously, when we discard them, they contribute to electronic waste. However, manufacturing one smartphone actually consumes as much energy as using it for 10 years.
Yeah, wow. I've got a link here. Tristan has sent it to me. Apparently there's an outfit called Fairphone. They don't include any fancy packaging, no charger, no USB. Comes with a screwdriver so you can fix it yourself. They're like a sustainable phone option. I'd not heard of them, but that's quite fascinating, and I suppose goes against what the majority are doing.
Absolutely. See, there are many DIY kits that are available online.
Okay.
However, if you're not an expert, I would advise, don't use them. Because you really need to be an expert. And see, we're only talking of phone DIY kits.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine a tractor DIY kit. You're going to hurt yourself.
Yeah, you wouldn't really get that in the postage. Well, I don't know, you might, depending on. Jen has also sent us a text. She said, yet again, we're too slow to change our laws. She says the EU seems miles in front of our laws. They've introduced laws regarding manufacturers making product repairs easily available. The aim is reduced waste and increase recycling. We should follow their lead. Even their laws on data protection and unfair monopoly trade laws are better than ours.
Well done, Jen.
Yeah, so
I agree with Jen.
Let's try and find a solution to all of this. So, look, my understanding is that at the moment companies can get away with this, but we are trying to change that. Is that right, Ritesh?
Absolutely, yes. So there are calls for producing generic spare parts rather than proprietary spare parts. There are calls for reducing the price of spare parts because you don't want repairing to actually become a disincentive. And also, Apple in the past has been accused of deliberately reducing the speed of their devices.
Yeah, the speed, yes.
Which was related to an incident called the Battery Gate. Mm-hmm. So, in fact, they've actually been fined.
And hopefully we can get something through to make sure that we retain our right to repair. If people are interested to follow the journey of this, Ritesh, you said that there was an inquiry. Is there somewhere they can follow?
Yeah, just Google up Right to Repair Australia. The first link will hit you to the inquiry page.
All right, wonderful. Well, look, thank you so much.
But having said that, Christine, just one more thing that I'd like to leave your listeners with.
Yep.
My advice is go and talk to your MPs. Tell them that you want the right to repair to be legislated in Australia. You have your listeners. Jen, for example, mentioned the European Union. So if the European Union can do it, well, we should follow their lead. Massachusetts has also introduced legislation. Yeah. So why don't we all fight for the right to repair.
Well, we've
Thank
got
you.
polling day here in WA tomorrow, so they've got to wait until they find out who their MP is. But as soon as we can, we will. Dr. Ritesh, thank you so much for your time.
Thanks so much, Christine.
That's Dr. Ritesh Chugh. He is from Central Queensland University. His piece in The Conversation is up about our right to have our phones repaired by anyone, not just the company of origin. Thank you for your texts. This is Warning.